Thank you very much. Well, if Oslo Accords to be revised, well, this is really an issue that, I think, we should debate. It is worth debating because Oslo was intended to be a bridge that will take us from occupation into statehood. And as a temporary and transitional period, this transitional process, Oslo became a permanent one. So it lost its value, its mission, and the objective. Is this time to revise Oslo, to look back into Oslo and to see what could be done? I think we are right now in the process of re-evaluating everything. Why? Because Israel has stopped respecting, implementing, and adhering to all agreements that they have signed with us, including Oslo. And President Mahmoud Abbas, in his speech delivered to the General Assembly September 30th last, he made a very clear statement where he said, we are not going to be the only party to adhere to and to respect and to implement agreements that we have signed with the Israelis. Either we both respect and implement these agreements, or there will be no respectability from the Palestinian side, including Oslo. Now, how we are going to tackle this issue from becoming religious? Well, obviously, you know that when it was political, it was limited to us and the Israelis, us meaning the Palestinians. The rest were supportive from a distance. The moment that they open the gate and make it unlimited in the sense that they are inviting all Muslims to be part of the confrontation, because then when it becomes religious, then it's between Muslims and Jews. It's not anymore between Israelis and Palestinians. This is really an open-ended confrontation. I think it will be detrimental, in terms of outcome if that situation really occurs. And that's the stupidity of Netanyahu's thinking and mentality. He is trying to invite the whole Muslims and the whole Jews to be part of that confrontation. That's stupid. That's really stupid. And that's why, we have to make it very clear, and to him and to all the Israeli leaders, that moving into that religious, it's not something that, it will be to their favor. Now, what Haaretz's investigation has proven that, yes, United Nations, U.S. Individuals, organizations, they have been contributing to funding settlements, illegal settlements, and illegal settlement organizations, in the Palestinian occupied territories, in total violation of international law and in violation of U.S. law. Now the question is what the U.S. government will do. This is a really very important question. I think that you should address this question to the U.S. administration, and if you want, we can pass your question to the U.S. administration and to see how the U.S. administration will respond to this question. I think it's very embarrassing, at least, to say the least. It will be very embarrassing to the U.S. administration to know that they have been allowing this money to be channeled to illegal settlements, to build settlements against international law, in violation of international law, in Palestinian occupied territories, against the official position of the U.S. administration. Now, if Jerusalem was mentioned in the Bible, with all respect, what can I do? It is mentioned in the Bible, it's mentioned in all religious books. That doesn't really change reality. That Jerusalem is a Palestinian city, and it is really the capital of the Palestinian state. Where did the Palestinian state? So that's very clear, and that's why what we are saying. Look, we respect the importance of Jerusalem to all religions, and that's why we say Jerusalem has to be an open city, capital of the two states, each Jerusalem capital of the state of Palestine, and with Jerusalem capital of the state of Israel, open city with free access, mobility, and worship. This is really what we are trying to do, and this is what it should be, not the way that the Israeli government is doing today. They have occupied Jerusalem, East Jerusalem, and they are trying to alter the status quo that has existed since 1875 in total violation of international law. Israel is not trustworthy. It's not trustworthy. Israel has proved as an occupying power that it does not respect its obligation as an occupying power according to international law and according to 4 Geneva Conventions. It's very clear, and that's why the international community has to move, to act, in order really to protect the holy sites in East Jerusalem, but at the same time to force Israel, because they have the obligation as signatory, they themselves, all countries are signatory to the Geneva Conventions, they have the obligation to see that Israel as an occupying power respect and adhere to its obligations as an occupying force, vis-a-vis people under its own occupation.